Ready, 1 2 3 start बोला तुमने master. Friends, we will be covering about radiological assessment of rotator cuff tears. So these are the axial views, and here you can see that this is the glenoid, this is the humeral head, and what you can see here, the anterior muscle is the subscapularis and the posterior muscle is the infraspinatus. You can see labrum on both the sides. Here you can see that biceps tendon is in the groove, and you can see a little bit of fluid which is surrounding the biceps tendon. So when we go from down to upwards, we can see that little bit of uppermost fibers of the subscapularis are involved, and the posterior fibers of infraspinatus are also involved. So we have something going wrong here and something going wrong here, and you can see that there is a lot of fluid accumulation in the rotator interval tissue. So this is also something which is suggestive of some injury or tear there. Also, the fluid in the biceps is suggestive of biceps pathology. So this 63-year-old lady has something on the uppermost part of the subscapularis, something in the rotator interval, little bit inflammation in the biceps, and some problem in the infraspinatus posterior part. Okay, and when we go to the coronal sections, what we can see here is there is a slit here. We called it as a bald head appearance. Okay, so you can see this. Let's assume that this is a head, then this is hair, this is hair. There is no hair here. So this is called as a bald hair appearance, and this can vary. So here you can see that there is a slit here, there is a slit here, there is a slit here, and there is a slit here. The posterior part is intact, the anterior part is okay, but there is a slit which is going here and which is communicating. So this is probably a U-shaped tear which is going from the attachment sites up to the glenoid margin. So this is the glenoid, and you can see that there is inflammation, which is little bit of fluid which is there. So in coronal sections, what you can see is this is the weak shadow of the biceps, this is the shadow of the muscles, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and a deep shadow here. So this is probably a slit which is suggestive of a rotator cuff tendon tear. Also, you must appreciate that this structure here is the anterior most edge of the acromion, which is leading to impingement. So there is a little bit of reduced space also. And then when we go laterally, you can see this is the space in the acromioclavicular joint here. So acromioclavicular joint is also involved. You can see glenoid here, it's a pear-shaped structure. This is the coracoid which is connecting with the glenoid. This is the subcoracoid space, which is in the subcoracoid space you will see the subscapularis muscle, and then you can just see the Y-shaped appearance in the medialmost aspect, and this shows the three muscles: supraspinatus, subscapularis, infraspinatus, and teres minor. And here you can see that the muscle bulk of all the three muscles are good. So there is no sorts of atrophy or no sorts of degeneration in the muscle tendon. So this looks more of a acute kind of a tear, slit tear, long U pattern tear, and the tear which is not much chronic and will have a good result if you do a operative intervention. The third image that we see are the sagittal images. Now sagittal images you can see in T1 and T2 both images. So here in these images also you can see that there is a little bit of fatty degeneration here. So in this image you can just appreciate a little bit of fatty degeneration. There is a tangent sign here. So what is the tangent sign? You draw, this is a Y-shaped view. This is the coracoid spine of the scapula, and this is the scapular body. And if you join these two, if the muscle bulk is less than that, it is suggestive of a significant fatty degeneration. So it's not there. So a little bit of fatty degeneration is there in the supraspinatus and a little bit in the infraspinatus, but not significant. Here, now in the sagittal view, you can appreciate that this is the humeral head, glenoid. You can see some abnormality on the superior labrum, that is the slap region, and there is some impingement here, and this area there is a roughness here. So you can see this roughness is because of the tear, and now here you can see that there is a gap. This is the gap that you can appreciate in this particular image. Rest of the images are fine. So we can see that this tear is not a very wide tear. It's a narrow tear, because only in one sagittal image you can see that there is a gap. Rest of the images there is no gap. Now these images are very important. These are the sagittal images, and you can see that these images, you can see that when going from anterior to posterior, there is a lot of fluid accumulation in the subcoracoid space. When we go here, we can see that this is the part of the supraspinatus, and this is a slit that I am talking about. So this is a narrow pattern of slit here, and there is narrowing of the acromiohumeral distance as well. And posteriorly, some muscle bulk is still there. Infraspinatus and teres minor are seen very nicely here. So again, you can see that there is a tear in this particular region and this particular region, which is significant in this patient. So this is a lady sort of acute or a subacute type of a rotator cuff. We'll take another patient into a consideration. He is a male patient, and in this particular case, again we will go by the same thing. So we go from anterior to posterior. You can see the coracoid here. This is the short head of the biceps, you can see. Then we are going from anterior to posterior. Here you can see the subscapularis. There you can see the long head of the biceps. This is the long head of the biceps, and then you can see this is the superior labrum. Here you can see that the cuff origin is not good. So from here and here you can see, and here you can see that this infraspinatus is attached only up to here. This portion is empty. Again, there is a narrowing of the acromiohumeral space. You can see that there is a large osteophyte here in this plane, and then you have some problem in the infraspinatus here. So this is like this. So in this image, you can see there is some problem, some damage to the infraspinatus as well, not as compared to the last patient. You have the teres minor. This is a teres minor. This looks good. So basically, this is again sagittal images of this particular patient, which shows that there is a rotator cuff pathology. Now when we see the coronal images in this particular patient, again we go from medial to lateral. Again there is not much of an atrophy kind of a changes. So again it looks like a subacute tear, Y-shaped view. We can see the tangent sign. If you want, you can draw a line from here to here. This is the supraspinatus, this is the subscapularis, and this is the infraspinatus and parts of teres minor. And you go from medial to lateral in this direction. Now here you can appreciate the acromioclavicular joint. This is the acromioclavicular joint that you can appreciate. And on the lateralmost edge, you can appreciate that there is some spur as well. If you see this pointed area, this is suggestive of a acromial spur. Now we were talking about the bald head sign, little bit appreciated here in this view and this view. Here you can appreciate the biceps tendon here into its place. This is the subscapularis, which looks almost normal, but the supraspinatus and infraspinatus are affected in this particular area. So when we go from lateral to medial, you can see that you have a defect here, defect here, defect here, and here you are able to see some hazy, sort of a thinned out of your fibers. So damage in supra and infra, probably whatever pattern we have to see in arthroscopy, but looks like a subacute tear. The other thing that you can see here is the glenoid here. Occasionally you may see some cystic changes here in cases of degeneration, but this is normal here. This is the coracoid and this is the subcoracoid space in which the subscapularis is lying normal. Now when we talk about the axial images, again, as I told you, anterior part is the subscapularis, posterior is the infraspinatus. We go from superior to inferior. Superiorly, this is the acromioclavicular joint. We go down, 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 down. This is the supraspinatus, you can see, and this is the coracoid, and this is the subcoracoid space in which the subscapularis tendon is going like this, looking grossly normal. The subscapularis tendon is here, 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 up to here. Everything is normal. You can see a little bit of fluid in the biceps. But posteriorly, if you compare the muscle bulk of subscapularis versus infraspinatus, it is very less, and this portion is hazy and lax. So this shoulder has more of a posterior superior or more of a superior kind of a tear, and you have some hyperintensity in this area, which you can appreciate. Again, you can appreciate the labrum on both the sides. Going inferior, you have fluid in the biceps that you can see, a lot of fluid in the biceps. So most of these patients have some kind of a biceps pathology because of which the fluid is there. and then you can, when you go down, these are the regular images. So this, when it goes down, this is the teres minor area in the lower infrared apparatus, which is normal here.